Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, across the continent of Africa, in the diaspora, in Europe, in America. Thank you very much. On behalf of Pan-African Forum, UK and Pan-African Forum Limited, Africa World Media Limited, and on behalf of myself, the people of Africa, and on behalf of Pan-Africanism, I want to greet you all. I want to greet you all tonight with the view that when we come to this, I want to greet you with a lot of sympathy. I want to greet those people, the suffering women, men, children, who have suffered the brutality of Mr. Paul Biya since 2016, when this new fight against oppression started. Paul Biya leashed several tactics against the people of Southern Cameroon. I'll refer to the territory of Southern Cameroons because in the books I've now researched, I've not found, and I will not file any case talking about Abazonia. Abazonia is a crime scene. Southern Cameroon is the nation which was annexed, taken over arbitrarily by the French Cameroon. They have never presented any agreement whatsoever anywhere on planet Earth, either in UN headquarters, in London, in Paris, in African Union, or in Cameroon itself. I've researched on this subject for the last 10 years. Today, let me come to the subject that has brought us here today, as many as we are. The political and the humanitarian crisis situation that is in Southern Cameroon. Many of you know, and many of you have heard my voice. And I want to make guidelines here. I am not here representing any particular group. I don't want to be taken by any particular group. I want to represent the suffering people of Southern Cameroon. I want to stand for those people in the forests, in the tropics, the children who have never gone to school since 2016. I want to stand for the suffering people who were denied their right to exist as a state, right from 1608 resolution of the United Nations General Assembly. I am Dr. David Nyekorach Masanga, born in Uganda 69 years ago. I have lived in the United Kingdom for 40 years. I'm a refugee by background. I left Uganda at the height of persecution. I used to work with His Excellency, the late President Apollo Militon Obote, as one of the personal assistants. Therefore, my history and the history of the African continent is in my chest, in my heart, in my head, and in my blood. Uganda was one of the few countries that wanted Southern Cameroon to have its independence. Uganda was one of the countries that wanted Biafra to be independent. That is the subject of another day. The subject of today is purely to talk to you, to bring you together. To bring you together. If you have your differences, thank you. Just your differences. But when it comes to talking to Dr. Matsanga, I don't have differences with anybody. I have differences with only one man that before the maker calls me or calls him, I want to bring him to justice and his commanders. That's it. I don't have any differences with you refugees outside in America, in Europe, in China, in where, in those in Boer who are suffering. I have no differences. Whichever group you belong to, it is as a result of one person. I have differences with Paul Biya. That's why I started, while on my investigating work across Africa, I came across these heinous crimes being committed in a state of Cameroon, in a state of southern Cameroon. I sent my journalists. I decided to send journalists into southern Cameroon. And from that day in 2016, when the people were protesting against Western Union not being allowed, MoneyGram not being allowed, they were told magistrates should rule in French, schools should start teaching French, those in the southern Cameroon should learn French, everything must be done in French. That was where I was. I started understanding the problem of southern Cameroon, plus what other knowledge I had got already as having been in administration of President Milton Obote, who wanted the people of southern Cameroon to have a state. So I put everything together. I started a campaign on my own. Nobody gave me permission to do so. Nobody stopped me until I saw a confusion. I did not lose hope. I continued to keep quiet and watch. I concentrated on the other one across your border in Nigeria of Biafra and Libya and Sudan. I kept my eyes. The situation there became very complicated. I hope Mr. Akanga is here on the platform. I told him to attend. He talked to me today. I told him to be here so that he can attest that he came to my studios in Nairobi, did an interview, and I told him I'm one of the biggest rebels on planet Earth. I've been in rebel politics, opposition politics for almost 40 years today. I rejected oppression. I have been a fighter since 1978, when I first picked AK-47 to remove Idi Amin. I have my military background. It is very difficult for you to bribe me. Even if you bring millions, when I'm stuck on my ground, I must execute my mission. I grew up in a humble beginning, a painful beginning, a refugee like you people here. I've reached the apex of education on the last iota on planet Earth. Therefore, what do? I must give back to the people. I must liberate my people. I must stand by them. Whatever they have gone through, they are going through, they will go through. Let's be together. Mr. Sako, seeing my TV very active. One day I got a telephone call for him saying, thank you for the good work you are doing. I want to be interviewed on your television station. At that time, they didn't have a television station. I hope he's listening. I gave him my television station, not for money, not for any reward, for Pan-Africanism. I dedicated 2 hours on a daily. A daily 2 hours daily from 2016. I joined up with some younger men somewhere in South Africa who had another satellite. My satellite was busy liberating the people of Gambia. You remember Gambia, Yahya closed all television stations and radio stations. So I took a satellite. I have a special satellite, special military satellite that can override some of these small, stupid radio stations of Paul Biya and Yaya Jame. So I took my radio station and my satellite into Banjul. I went undercover in a hotel with my equipment, and the Gambians continue to enjoy. Yaya Jame was thrown out, and my friend, the watchman, great friend of mine from Croydon, was in the watchman of Angus warehouse and supermarket. Great friend of mine, Adama Barrow, swept to power installed. I left. I continued with the job that I'm doing. I've never gone to Gambia to ask for money, even a single coin. Nobody has ever given me a coin in Gambia for what I did, but I did it for the good of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, those watching me and listening on Zoom, a huge number of you, and those who will take these recordings, I continued with my observance of the situation in southern Cameroon. It became worse. One evening, I was in Marriott Hotel near Heathrow Airport for a meeting, my own meeting. I bumped into, I was seated waiting for my people to come from Denmark and Finland for a very crucial meeting on Sudan and Dubai. By then, the Sudan war had started. We wanted to put, I'm part of the committee that negotiates peace in Sudan, as I am here up to today. I saw one black guy looking at me attentively. And being a soldier, I was very curious, and I walked to him and said, where do you come from? He said, oh, I come from Cameroon. Which part of Cameroon? That's always I ask questions. South or French? From Amazonia or Southern Cameroon. I said, okay. Whom are you waiting for? He was waiting for Mr. Akanga. As we were talking, he was telling me there are people coming. I saw Akanga and Dr. Ayaba with 6 other people and 2 women in a London hotel. I wish Mr. Akanga was here. I told him, I would say it publicly. I said, Akanga, what are you doing here with these 2 younger women? These are not very good women. These women wanted to disrupt my peace talks in Uganda between me and the President Museveni. You should not associate with them at all. The women, when they saw me, they were shaking. I said, these ones are very bad people. These people should be spying on you. Don't give them that. Why are you with them? These 2 white women are not very good at all. I was very honest to these younger men. I call them younger men because none of them is 69 like me. I made my stand very clear. Nakanga, if you are here, you better come up and say exactly what I told you. From that time, I did not come back to see. I did not follow up. I told them, you call me when you need me. The situation back at home, I heard of something like peace talks. I dismissed those peace talks as peace jokes because you cannot go to meet in Switzerland and say you are doing peace talks. You are just collecting a few dollars. Switzerland, that is the home of this guy. So how is it going to do peace talks for you? That's another angle for another day. Mistakes are made, but correction is amongst you yourselves. Divisions is what I hate. I told Akanga and Ayaba, unite. I have been a leader. I've been in rebel activities the rest of my life. I've been there. I have seen 400,000 men and arms, not simple arms of AK-47, huge arms. But I've brought the war to an end. I will help you to guide you to bring this situation to an end. My brothers, whether they went where and they didn't agree, I don't know. I did not follow. Up to now, we are struggling.